How's it going, people? So yeah, today is a special day. As you probably see where I am, I'm at the cinema, the local Cineworld. I'm just currently sat at Starbucks waiting with my friend Dave to go and see Ghostbusters Afterlife. Finally, it's actually here. So I've got a 4DX ticket right there. So I'm going to go see it 4DX, and then funnily enough, I got myself another ticket for the next screening, which is going to be at 2:20. So I'm going to watch it twice in one day because I'm a Ghostbusters fan, what can I say? So yeah, I'm just going to do this brief thing. This is a bit unusual for me because I don't normally do things from location, but I'm going to be trying to get into this more vlogging style of things anyway. Yeah, so I will do a brief thing after I come out of this first screening, just to give my initial thought. And then after the second screening, I'll do my review. So that'll be that then. Okay, see you later. So, yeah, that was entertaining. Second viewing, so it went down well. First time I saw it in 4DX, so it's a bit distracting in 4DX, but yeah, definitely good. Definitely worth checking out. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to do my full review when I get home, so I'll speak to you all then. Bye! How's it going, people? I am now back home. Yeah, so yeah, here comes the review. So yeah, so obviously I went to see Ghostbusters Afterlife. There's the poster anyway. Bing, there we go. So yeah, I went to see Ghostbusters Afterlife twice today. I saw one of the earliest screenings in 4DX because a wonderful friend of mine got me a 4DX ticket, which was a nice surprise. But I'd already previously booked a couple of weeks prior my tickets for the first 2D screening of the day. Well, just like plain standard 2D, like, which no 4DX or anything like that. Which was so. Literally, I went to the 4DX showing, came out with my friend, got a coffee, and then went straight into the next showing of it. Like, so yes, I have watched Ghostbusters Afterlife twice today. So this is going to be a very in-depth review. There will be spoilers in the middle, but I'm going to put chapters on this video. So please, if you don't want any spoilers, then skip ahead on the chapters. You'll see it on the timeline, so you'll be able to do that, and it will be in the video's description, so save yourself spoilers, but you will get full warning before I go into that territory, and you will have time to skip before I say anything. Okay, don't worry, I am not here to spoil Ghostbusters for anybody. Okay, so yeah, okay, so first of all, let's talk about my first experience of watching it today, which was in 4DX, and I have my 4DX ticket here. There we go, cover up the pricing. So, yeah, there we go. 4DX. Don't know how well that's going to focus. Progress! But yeah, 4DX. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Cineworld in Wolverhampton, which is a fantastic cinema, actually. And the staff there are really friendly and great. And they have a Starbucks inside. Oh! So anyway, yeah, last time I saw a 4DX film, I went to see Godzilla vs. Kong in 4DX. And the 4DX experience was terrible. It didn't work. Basically, with 4DX, what happens is it's a full experience. So you have they pump like vapor into the auditorium, like, you know, smoke fog machines. They have flashing strobe lights. You have water effects. You have wind effects. The whole chair, all the chairs move and everything. You get bumped in the back and stuff, like. And yeah, when it works, it is fantastic. It is really a hell of an experience. It's like a ride. And a film like Ghostbusters Afterlife, there's a lot of stuff in that film where you get a lot of motion and a lot of action and stuff like that, especially all the scenes with Ecto-1. Like, you are literally driving around and stuff, like, boom, bumping around and everything like that. Like, it's like a ride. It's absolutely brilliant. Worth it for the experience at least once, I would say. But make sure it works properly, because like I say, I went to Godzilla vs. Kong and the seats weren't moving and stuff like they were supposed to, which was a little bit of a letdown, especially in that film, because there was a lot going on in that film where it would have been really cool. Whereas Ghostbusters Afterlife, it all worked. Yay! So yeah, and Okay, so let's get into it. So yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife. It stars Mckenna Grace as Phoebe, Finn Wolfhard as Trevor. We've got Celeste O'Connor as Lucky. We've got Logan Kim as Podcast, Paul Rudd as Mr. Guberson, and Carrie Coon as Callie. And we also have reappearances from, obviously, Annie Potts, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Bill Murray. That isn't a spoiler because you know they're showing up. You know they're showing up. But it's in what capacity do they show up? Ooh. So yeah, so that's actually main cast for it. And Bokeem Woodbine as well. He's in it as well. He plays the sheriff of the town. And there's some other side characters and stuff like that. But that's your main cast. God, man, every single person in this film, it was awesome. Like, you know, Mckenna Grace is brilliant. She's a brilliant little actress, she is. Really enjoyed her performance. She was very believable, and very good as like the nerdy sort of character like and stuff. I don't know if she's like that in real life, like, but yeah, she played it really well. Finn Wolfhard, I love that guy. He's really cool. He's just a cool dude. And again, he's a very likable character, very, very likable. He's a likable kid. And Celeste O'Connor, who plays Lucky, she's very likable too. She doesn't get as much, but she's still got quite a big thing. It's mainly McKenna Grace and Logan Kim with main focuses on it, like, because they're the two little buddies who, and they're convincing everybody else basically of what's happening. So yeah, but yeah, talking of Logan Kim, that kid is hilarious. He gets some of the funniest lines in the film, like, and he's really entertaining. He's like, he does the comedy well. He's got good timing and stuff, and his expressions and things like that are really, really good. Okay, this film, okay, I will say, is a continuation of Ghostbusters. Okay, not necessarily Ghostbusters 2. Okay, but it does have things in it that do connect to Ghostbusters 2. There's no big things. They don't really talk about what happened in 1989. They just talk about the 1984 incident with Gozer, because obviously Gozer's the big bad again, like, which again is not a spoiler because you see that in the trailer. But yeah, so it is a fan service film, I guess. There's a lot of people, like critics and stuff like that, saying, "Oh yeah, it's just a fan service film," and stuff like that. But hey, this is the Ghostbusters that we deserved, right? So Ghostbusters 2016, what, Answer the Call or whatever the fuck it's called, like, is a bag of shit. It's a terrible fucking film. It's not funny. It's not clever, and it's just horrible to watch. I hate it. I absolutely hate that movie because it's just not funny at all, and it's not clever. It's just literally they took the Ghostbusters IP and slapped it on there, like, and then fucking Paul Feig or whatever his fucking name is did whatever you want, and it was a bag of shit. It was a bag of shit for it, and you could tell when the original Ghostbusters cast showed up in that film that they didn't want to be there. They couldn't have cared fucking less about being there, like, you know. Whereas this film, all of the returning cast from the original that do show up, because obviously we can't have everybody, but all the original cast that show up, you can tell that they're enjoying it. You can tell that they want to be there. This is part of their legacy, the old characters, like, you know, it's Ghostbusters is one of those things. I mean, for me anyway, I hold it very close to me, like very near and dear, because I grew up like watching the real Ghostbusters when I was a kid. I mean, the Ghostbusters movies when I was a kid. I had all the Ghostbusters toys and stuff. I mean, I am a big Ghostbusters fan. I even enjoyed the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon. I thought that was quite a cool little continuation, like, sort of thing. But yeah, like, so Ghostbusters Afterlife was, yeah, a film for me. If you are a big Ghostbusters fan, oh my god, there is so much in here for you to pick up on. This is why I'm so happy I got to see it twice in one day, because I picked up on more the second time around. And I will say this about it. I cried. Yeah, both screenings at the same time. The same times in the film, I cried. I literally had tears coming out of my eyes. That's how much this film touched me as a Ghostbusters fan. So don't get me wrong, it's not a perfect film. Don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. There are some errors in there, like some continuity errors, like a couple of continuity errors that I picked up on. It gets to points where it feels like it might have been, it kind of rushes to get to a certain point in bits. Like it's kind of like, oh, this is happening now. Don't get me wrong, it's fast paced, like, so it keeps you going. Like it's got a bit of a slow start, but then as soon as it hits, like, it goes and it's quick, which can be good, like, you know, because it keeps you going, like. But yeah, it did fall a couple of times for me, but not enough for it to ruin my experience at all. Like, it was just a couple of things I picked up on being a cinephile, you know. But I mean, if you're just watching this as a casual viewer, yes, this is a good introduction to the Ghostbusters. If you haven't already seen Ghostbusters, this is kind of like a bit of a history lesson, like, sort of thing, if you, in that respect, because it's like, you know, they're telling you about, like, you know, oh, okay, this is this happened in 84, and they give you a bit of backstory for what happened in 84, so you don't necessarily have to know. I mean, everybody really, fucking hell. If you've been living under a rock, I was gonna say, because if you've been living under a rock, you probably don't know who the Ghostbusters are. But if you're just, like, you know, an everyday person, or Ghostbusters is one of the most recognizable, like, franchise logos out there, like, you know. And the way this film starts, it does start with the ghost corpse. So yes, Sony are really trying to expand the Ghostbusters thing here, it feels like. But yeah, I mean, I think this works on levels for everybody, for casual fans and for hardcore fans and for just general cinema goers. It's a fun film. There was some really good humor in it. Like, I mean, because you've got, like, Paul Rudd and stuff in there, like, great, like, you know. But the kids, it's the kids who are hilarious in this. Like, they've got some brilliant, like, chemistry and back and forth and stuff like that. Like, so yeah, I mean, I can't fault the kids. I can't fault them. Like I said, they did a great job. So yeah, right, now I'm going into spoiler territory, okay? This is now spoilers. Spoiler. On the screen now, you can see it. Flash. Ah, okay, spoilers. Right, this is your fair warning. I will leave it for, I will count to 3, and then I'm going to start talking about spoilers, okay? So if you want to skip to the end part of the review where there won't be any spoilers, just my final thoughts. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, boom. Okay, spoiler time. Okay, so, yeah. The film opens and starts obviously showing you Egon on the farm, and he's running from something. We actually see Egon's death. Like, we see how he dies at the start of the film, because the film is supposed to take place like a week or so after Egon's passing, and he's alone on this farm. We don't know why, or anything like that. When it starts off, like, he's just alone on this farm, and he's got a ghost trap. And he's running from something that's invisible, and his trap fails basically. So he runs inside the house, and he just sits himself in a single-seater armchair, and as if he's just like, right, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for it to happen because it's inevitable. He knows it's gonna happen. So. Yeah, he sits in the armchair, and then, you know, in Ghostbusters when Dana sits in the chair and, like, she gets grabbed by all of the hands and stuff that come out the chair and start grabbing her and everything like that. Like, that happens to Egon. The hands come out the chair and grab him and stuff like that, like, because obviously, you know, we're dealing with Gozer again, like, with Gozer again, like, so, like, the hands come out, like, and stuff, and grab him and stuff, but he doesn't get pulled off and dragged away. He dies. He has a heart attack. Like, it causes him to have a heart attack, so he dies, so the hands leave him. But then we see the PKE meter on the floor, like Egon's PKE meter, and obviously that thing will only go off when there's a spirit present. And Egon dies. You see, it pans down to the PK meter underneath the chair. They do it so well, they don't show you his face. They keep it very well covered, obviously, because Harold Ramis is no longer with us, unfortunately. And you see the PKE meter under the chair. and then the PK emitter just activates and turns on, and that's kind of your indication. It's like his spirit has just left his body. He's now there as a spirit. So that's your opener, and then it gets into the family and stuff like that, and then being evicted from the house and stuff like that. Like, but that opener I thought was so tastefully done. And considering, you know, that Harold is no longer with us, and that is a shame, that is. But yeah, so that opening thing I thought was a very nice bit of, like, how to explain Egon's passing. It worked really, really well. Yeah, I mean, and then that continues. Obviously, we get to see the kids, like, you know, well, like Phoebe, she discovers, like, you know, Egon's stuff, and then she starts to discover that she is a Spengler, you know, and who Egon was and everything, because obviously they're little kids, like, you know, it was like 20 years before they were born, like all that stuff happened in New York. I mean, they know about the Manhattan ghost stories, but they don't know the full backstory of it, like, because obviously the Ghostbusters, like, fizzled out because they stopped the spooks, they stopped the ghosts, and hauntings started to disappear slightly, like, you know, because they, you know, they caught so many ghosts and stuff like that, like, so all of a sudden, it turns out that Egon is in Somerville, which is the town where it's set, which is a little town like Oklahoma sort of thing. Egon's there because he knows that town is what was created by Ivan Shandor, and if you know who Ivan Shandor is, he's the guy who created the building from the first film, the tower block from the first film, you know, which is the Gozer portal, and like, so Ivan Shandor built this town, and like all of the the conductive metal material and stuff that he used to build the girders for that building, which is how it could draw so much energy. It was all being mined in this town, so he built this town as a mining town to mine this stuff and create the girders and stuff like that, so he could go and build his gateway. But there's also an ancient gateway inside the local mountain that's close to the hill, close to the town, sorry, which is a Gozer temple, like, and that's really cool. That's really, really cool. So it turns out that Egon, like, grabbed the gear, like, ditched the other guys because they didn't want to believe him. And then he shipped off to Somerville to try and stop Gozer from returning. He sets up this really cool, like, cross stream system to stop it, like, fires into this Gozer pit, like, which every time it tries to rise up, it activates and bzzz, and fucking holds it back, like, which is really cool. Ivan Shandor, the actual guy himself, Ivan Shandor, is in it, and he is played by J.K. Simmons, of all fucking people. J.K. Simmons is like, and it's like the smallest, like, it's almost like a cameo. It's like he's in it less than the actual Ghostbusters, like the original Ghostbusters, and they're a cameo as well, really. And it's, yeah, J.K. Simmons, and spoilers, he gets torn in fucking two, which was probably the most horrific thing in this entire film, which made me go, holy shit, they did that. Like, because he's there welcoming back Gozer, and she basically puts her hands on his head, and then just rips him in half, like, splits him right down the middle, like, and it's like, yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was like, that was a bit of a mad one, like. Anyway, we get to the end of the film, big end battle. The Ghostbusters show up because, you know, they're trying to get Gozer back, and it turns out that Egon turned the farm into a giant trap system, basically, and buried underneath. Like, so they call him the Dirt Farmer because he's got a farm, but he is not growing anything, never watering or anything like that, and it's because he's got all the traps buried under there. Like, he took all the traps from the firehouse with him, and then created this giant trap to try and trap Gozer, like, once and for all. Like, so so basically, you know, they're trying, the kids and everything are trying to get the trap working again. They managed to get Gozer to come to the farm because they trap one of the terror dogs. That terror dog gets let out and then possesses Lucky, and then that's when we hear the, hey, Flat Top. And as soon as you hear that, it's like, yes, they're back, the original Ghostbusters are back, and they are the original, the three who are still with us, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson, respectively, show up with their proton packs and everything, like, and they all start getting into it. It's like firing, because McKenna Grace has got a proton pack, and she's firing it at Gozer whilst Gozer's firing electricity, and they're kind of clashing in the middle. Clashing in the middle there. So it's... I don't know what happened then. Oh. That was weird. Okay. So, yeah, anyway. So, anyway, yeah, so McKenna Grace is firing at Gozer. Gozer's firing back. And then all the other Ghostbusters get their proton packs and cross the streams, like. But Gozer is powerful enough now, and she remembers them, you see, from the last time she encountered them. And so she starts separating the streams herself, because obviously proton streams, they can grab hold of them, spirits are, like, you know, and she starts to separate them, pull them apart, and it's like, oh shit, you know, that's it. You think, oh no, this is like getting really bad. And then McKenna Grace is there, like, fighting back, and then all of a sudden you see a blue ghostly hand take hold of the proton wand with McKenna Grace's hand, and then it slowly pans around, pans up, and they did it. They actually did it. They created a ghost, Harold Ramis, and my god, it's uncanny. It's him. It looks like him. It's all CGI, obviously, you know. But it's an old Egon. They show you like an old Egon, so it shows his face and everything. And my god, if you're a Ghostbusters fan, I challenge you not to have tears in your eyes at that moment, because I didn't expect that. Because Egon makes his presence known throughout the film as like a poltergeist. You don't ever see him, but then at the end you do, and you see him in his full form, and he interacts with the Ghostbusters. He never talks because obviously I can't recreate his voice, like, but he's like nods with sentiment and stuff like that. Like, and all the boys say, you know, they miss him, you know, because we do. We miss Harold Ramis, and yeah, and like the end thing is like he hugs. Like he hugs Carrie Coon, like his estranged daughter. As I never really explained how it happened. Is just Egon had a kid at some point, and he just up and left. But he was following her life and stuff like that secretly. And yeah, and he turns into stars and stuff. And that is the very, 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 very end of the film. He turns to stars, and as it pans up to the night sky, it just comes up in white letters saying, "For Harold." My heart, right? So that, and then it cuts, to, like, you know, that's the end of the film, and it shows you Ecto-1 driving back to New York, because the boys take Ecto-1 again. And you'll see it driving back to New York over the Golden Gate, is the Golden Gate Bridge? I can't remember, the Brooklyn Bridge, or the big bridge in New York, Brooklyn Bridge I think it is. And then the original Ghostbusters theme starts playing. Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters starts playing, and then it does that, and then we get a mid-credit scene. All right, we get a mid-credit scene, and this is where one character who if you're watching the entire film and you know that they're in it, like the actors in it, and you're like, where are they? Where are they? And it comes on the screen with their credit, and as soon as their credit comes up, it cuts to the mid-credit scene, because that's where they show up. And because we're in spoiler territory here, like, I can say this now. Sigourney Weaver shows up as Dana, like, and she's with Peter, and they're doing the psychic card test thing. Absolutely brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But then there is another very, very, very end, at the end of the credits scene, which shows you Winston, because Winston went on to be, like, you know, rich, like really, really rich. He's a financial guy, like. It shows you, like, Janine and Winston talking at Winston's offices. And they're talking about, you know, the future of things, and it shows you Winston going back to the firehouse, opening the doors and stuff like that, like, and then Ecto-1 pulling in and parking up inside the firehouse again, which is absolutely, like, incredible moment, and yeah, like I say, as a Ghostbusters fan, this everything about it for me was awesome. I really loved it. Even though there was a couple of glaring continuity errors, it was still great. It was still a nice... Even if they don't make another one after this, but I think they're going to try. You know, I mean, I wouldn't say no. But especially if they brought back this young cast, because they're really good. But yeah, like even if they don't do another one, this is a nice bookend. Yeah. So anyway, okay. End of spoilers now. Right. My final thoughts then on Ghostbusters Afterlife, barring the couple of continuity errors in there. This film is incredible. It's great. It's so much fun. Like I say, there are 2 end credit scenes. There's a mid credit and a very end credit, so stay for those, because I was actually telling people in the cinema, stay, there's credit scenes, and people were thanking me. I'm like, oh, thank you, didn't realise that. So yeah, you don't expect it with a Ghostbusters film, but yeah, there's 2 end credit scenes, so stick around for those. And yeah, my final thoughts on this is, if you are a Ghostbusters fan, this film is absolutely amazing, and you will love it. You will absolutely love it. It is a nice bookend to a Ghostbusters trilogy, if they don't do any more. Like I say, this would serve as a decent enough ending to the story of the original Ghostbusters. Anyway, so yeah. Out of stars then, okay, what am I going to give Ghostbusters Afterlife? It's a 4.5-star film. 4.5. I can't give it 5. I can't give it 5 because of its continuity errors and stuff. But I can still give it 4.5 stars because it made me fucking cry. It made me feel like warm inside. It really brought back a lot of nostalgia, as well as introducing a fantastic new cast. The effects were really good. They used a lot of practical stuff, which is really, really cool. There was quite a bit, there's CGI in there, like, but like the terror dogs and stuff like that. Like, yeah, man, they use practical effects and stuff. So yeah, recommend it. I highly recommend this film. Definitely worth checking out if you get the chance. And if you're a Ghostbusters fan, you can't miss this. You can't miss this. This is, forget 2016's debacle. Alright, this is the Ghostbusters sequel that you wanted. Yeah. Again, not perfect. It's not perfect. But it's still absolutely brilliant. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's a 4.5-star film for me. Ghostbusters Afterlife. Check it out when you can. Right. Okay. So that's enough then for me. That's the end of this review. Like I say, I know I'm doing things very sporadically. I'm not really keeping up to date with the daily shorts and stuff like that because I am planning my trip to America at the moment, and I've got a lot going on. Trying to get things sorted out here, as you can probably see over there. Like, stuff's being packed into boxes and stuff, like, and everything else. Like, it's just all gonna, start disappearing out soon because I've got to sell some bits and stuff. I'm still selling stuff. So I am doing Saturday Serial though still, so Saturday Serial will be here on Saturday, so please subscribe and hit notifications to stay up to date with, like, all the stuff that I do because I can't unfortunately promise that, regular videos at the moment because of what's going on, but I am going to try and do some more stuff, and especially leading up to this big America trip for me. I want to do some video documenting on that, some vlogs and stuff, I think. So yeah, so keep an eye out for those. Anything else going on? No, that's it really for everything in my world at the moment. Thank you very much to all my subscribers and everybody who's sticking with me and, like, keeps tuning into my videos and liking them, commenting and everything. I love you all. You're amazing, absolutely amazing. And, like, I've got to say, you've kept me going. YouTube community, you've kept me going. Because, this has given me something to do, a reason to do something, a reason to carry on doing things, I've had, it's been rough over the past couple of years because of the pandemic, and, like, I'm lucky to have my beautiful girlfriend who's been there for me as well, and the friends who have been there for me as well. I'm very lucky for them too. So yeah, anyway, I just want to say I love you all. I think you're all amazing, and I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all smiling. If you're not happy and you're not smiling, please reach out to somebody. Reach out, there are people out there who want to listen and do care, and want to see you smile, because you deserve to. So yeah, right, that's enough for me then. Okay, I hope you all have a great Friday, and I hope you all come and join me on Saturday for Saturday Serial. Get your coffee and let's talk some movie news. I should have Stephen back with me, so that'll be great because Stephen is a legend. So yeah, that's it I think from me. So I'm gonna love yous and leave yous on that one because this has turned into a monster of a review. So yeah, peace, love and happiness everybody. Enjoy yourselves, and yeah, check out Ghostbusters Afterlife. Alright, bye!